This guy loves muscle cars, but he got his personal identity stolen. Let's go get his story.
Hey.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm Mike Corbin with Raw Deal.
Nice to meet you.
We're here to get your story.
All right, come on in.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for having us into your home. You wrote into myrawdeal.com. We reviewed your story, and it sounds like you got quite a story to tell. So before we start, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for a living?
Okay. Well, I was born and raised here in Florida, so I am a Floridian. And, I like to do water sports. I used to live on a lake. I'd wakeboard and wake skate, and, anything to keep me happy, and nowadays I do play Wii with my wife, well, my daughter and my wife, but I'm not much into activities like I used to be. I'm getting older. Yeah, I like to drag race, anything that I drive regardless, so I can, try to beat my own time.
So you like muscle cars?
I like muscle cars. I like old Pontiacs and old Fords.
So you got into car dealerships, or you own a car dealership from what I understand?
Yeah, I thought I could do it. I had a good credit, didn't have any money.
You got your dealer's license and you started a business. Where was your business located?
It was located in Winter Park. I took the dealer class 2 times. First time I failed, second time I got it.
How long did you own the business?
About 3 years.
Do you still own it today?
No, I let it fall apart.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, I was doing okay considering I didn't know what I was doing at first. Local auction gave me a credit card with a $100,000 limit.
So with this $100,000 that you had on credit with the car auctions, you said, that's how you actually got going in your business?
That and my personal or business credit cards, I would use to buy supplies with. But as far as buying cars, I would use that credit card to buy cars with.
So cool. Let's get to the raw deal. Tell us what happened. What happened with that?
Somehow, some way, someone got a hold of my personal information, business information, my dealer license, my federal tax ID license. And the state of Florida is very, very strict on your sales tax.
So how can they get a hold of something like that?
I've been asking myself that same question for a very long time.
These guys that stole your identity, per se, where are they from?
Well, I would imagine they're from Miami, because I realized that when me and my wife and I got our auction access pass, it took me a couple of years to realize that her address said Miami on it.
What's an auto auction pass?
An auto auction pass is you got to show it every time you go to the auction, because they don't let any public in there. You got to show them that you're a dealer, and if you're bringing someone with you, you can do that.
So how did you find out that somebody stole your identity?
Well, when I was doing my taxes, which I had to do quarterly, I would get letters back from the IRS telling me that everything was done incorrectly, numbers weren't jiving up. And I have a really good tax guy, and I know that on my side of things, everything was accurate. And it took a while for me to realize that that there's another dealership in my name.
Did you get a lawyer? Did you hire an investigator?
I did not hire an investigator. I do have a business lawyer.
You wanted to find out who these people were that stole your business or stole your identity.
Honestly, I wanted to go in there into their business and pretend I was a customer and shop them and find out how they're doing business.
Did you ever get an address, or were they using your address here in Orlando?
Their address was in Miami. I had their address, and I was ready to drive down there. My lawyer told me not to, because he said all it takes is one picture of me in their, with their business name in the back, and they can say I'm in cahoots with them.
So what did you do? You let your license lapse, or?
After this past, every April, you have to renew your license, and this past April, I went ahead and let my license expire.
What all does that mean? I mean, these guys are still in Miami. Are they still running this business? Can they still do that?
I don't. They're obviously, if they're running their business, it's not from me, because everything that's related to me is gone. I'm no longer in business. They can't use my dealer license. They can't use my federal tax ID number. So hopefully they got busted. That's what I'm hoping.
So when you let your business go, you just cease to exist, how does that affect you? Can you start another dealership under another tax ID?
I can. It takes a lot of work. A lot went into it. I mean, it took me about 6 months to be up and running after I got my dealer license.
And obviously this affected your credit as well.
Absolutely.
So you'd have to have a whole lot of money to get back into it.
Yeah.
Since you were operating off of, the majority was credit from the beginning.
I don't advise anybody to start a business based off of just credit cards.
Mike, have you suffered any monetary damages after the fact?
And when I seized my business and give up my license, it was just to separate myself from whoever's running the show down there.
If you hadn't had your personal information stolen, would you still be doing this business today?
Absolutely.
So somewhere, somebody's responsible for stealing your identity, but you have not yet been able to pinpoint where that happened. It could have been out of your mailbox, could have been at one of the auctions that you went to. I mean, people get their identity stolen all the time, but you haven't been able to find out where that transaction took place, where your identity was actually stolen.
I don't know how my license got stolen. I suspect that all my information was stolen somewhere from an auction.
Well, Mike, thanks a lot for having us out. We appreciate you telling us your story. We wish you all the best of luck in the world, and I hope you win the $1,000. I know it's not going to cover everything, but
thank you. Thank you. I hope I win, and thank you guys for reading my story and sympathizing with me. And it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.